take the road less traveled. Now, I'm by far not the first person to say that, and certainly not the first person or last person to live by it, but I'd highly recommend it. You can look for inspiration about the road less traveled from poets like Robert Frost or psychologist M. Scott Peck. Now, there's plenty of information out there that will say, as a photographer, when you're coming home from a certain area, you should follow the same path so that you can study the light. I think the opposite, because time and time again, when I take a path that's different than what I normally do, I'm noticing different parts of my community, I'm noticing how light responds differently, and I'm also noticing how my community is changing, whether it's development, community outreach, or it's mural art, which there's tons of in Tucson, Arizona, in the United States and around the world. So taking the road less traveled is something I'd highly recommend. The footage you're seeing is a recent trip I've taken. Obviously, it's easy to notice the beauty of your state when you're on vacation, because you're taking a different path through the state. I've never been to Elgin, Arizona, which is part of our wine country. It's a town that neighbors Sonoyta, which is world famous for its wine. It was a short trip, but well worth it. We got to see beautiful landscapes and be away from humanity just for a little bit to recharge and remind ourselves what's important. Now, at this point in my career, I can't take a vacation every time I want to see something different. So what I do is, on a daily basis, I'm taking a different path, either to my job, from my job, or just when I'm traveling doing mundane things. So here's a perfect example. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was traveling in my neighborhood. I live just west of a very popular intersection in downtown Tucson, which is West University and North 4th Avenue. On this particular evening, there was someone ahead of me that was driving way too slow. So I took a left before that major intersection, and there was this house that stood out like the Statue of Liberty. Very dim lighting on the street, but this entire wraparound patio was illuminated in this beautiful light. The side of their home was lit up with this very iridescent purple green. I didn't know what they were doing. Maybe they're photographers. I don't know. I'd love to meet them someday because their house is magnificently beautiful at night. Maybe a week after that, I decide, okay, it's stormy out. I know I'm going to get some good clouds in the background. I'm going to take a walk. Along the way, I captured at least 23 images that are worth publishing, at least on social media, if not creating an entire book. Why? Because I took an odd path out of my neighborhood. So what does this tell me? And what has it told me since the beginning? Is that it's worth seeing our city with new eyes. So that's my take on seeing your city with new eyes. It's a technique I really enjoy, and I'd love to hear if you differ in opinion. Until next time, I'll see you in the streets.